Okay, well, welcome back, everybody. This is day 2 of streaming. My name is Cam, also known as Humble Footman, and if you weren't here yesterday, I'm brand new to streaming, so I really appreciate you watching the stream or the VOD. And this is my first PoE playthrough. I've installed all the add-ons via the Definitive Edition, and I'll be reading all the quest text and saving the videos so you can catch up on any videos that you miss. Just to reiterate, I chose to stream PoE 1 so that I could practice talking on stream and interacting with chat. I thought it was a great game to do that. And so I would greatly appreciate if you'd follow the stream and drop me some love in the chat and just hang out. Thanks so much, and I hope you enjoy the stream. Just setting up my chat here. There we go. Beauty. All right, let's get into it. I got your Pillar of Eternity right here, bud. Hey, Dolly, what's going on, man? Day 2 of streaming Pillars of Eternity. That's hot, though.
Sure.
Nice. Alright, so let's get the heck out of here. It will take you 6 hours to complete your journey from Ceylon Lys to Valewood. Okay. Here we go.
Ready to sleep like the dead.
Across the Valewood. Dead bodies already? That's not a good sign. I will take your things, though. Let's check up here first. Some blood moss. Alright. It's like a ghost running across the river. I feel like there's going to be a lot of little kind of Easter eggy kind of things like that in this game. I'm pretty excited about. Some more. Oh, got the wolf. The young wolf. Knock him down. Give him that axe.
Let's go! Let's go!
Is he immune to knockdown? This young wolf is. Let's see here. Young wolf. Footman knockdown hits young wolf for 28 slash damage, but misses with additional effect. Huh. So I guess additional effects can, even if you hit, they can still not take effect. That's interesting.
Nice and slow.
It says, shattered pieces of a crate are strewn across the dirt, along with a few muddy vegetables. Looks like somebody got chest here. Some River Reed. Let's loot first, of course. Scroll of Tanglefoot. Ooh. Camping supplies. Silver Leash. Stash it. You already have maximum quantity of camping supplies. Oh. Interesting. The grass is still flattened behind the wagon's wheels. Barrels of cabbages, potatoes, and squash have been overturned and abandoned. Did I get that camping? I didn't get it. I guess I can't carry anymore. I have the maximum amount. Can't even stash it. Alright, so we'll head over here so we can leave this area. Not until it's fully explored. We killed the wolf there. Alright, let's head north here and see what's up here. Some more amethyst. Oh, a cave. Okay. So let's see. We don't have a quest to go into a bear cave. So let's come back to that. I'm just going to explore the rest of this area. And then we'll head into the bear cave. Oh, an outlaw. Okay. Start the knockdown. Let's go. Big miss. Try again. Yeah.
Let's go.
Smoked. Hit them while they're down. Oh, man.
Could use some rest.
Could use some rest. So my health is... I wonder why he's saying that. Could use some rest. What's this? This looks like he has a little effect on him. I'm gonna check that out in a sec. Open helm. I'm gonna try putting this helm on. The rest, I think we can put in the stash, but does this helm offer any sort of... Oh, where did it go? I'm going to go in the stash. See if this helm offers... There it is. Open helm. Let's put this on my head. So I look like a dingus. But... did it do anything? So here are my defenses. Let's take it off. No, it doesn't change anything. So it's just aesthetic.
Steady does it.
Oh, bandit camp. Interesting. So I can talk to these bandits. So let's save and approach with caution. Doo-doo-doo. 10 Frith. The young dwarf tending to the stew looks up, startled, as he sees you approach. He drops his ladle, spattering stew across the ground. What? The bandit turns. Get him, you dogs, and make sure our new cook don't run off. Help, please, help, ma! One of the bandits gives Tenfrick a kick as they pass him, and he huddles. Okay, a little 1v3. Doesn't look like Tenfrith is giving me any help. So, I think we're gonna engage the guy with 2 daggers here first. Knock him on the ground. See how this goes. Boom. Kind of keep him disengaged. Yeah.
Let's go.
Gives me more endurance. Sure, I'm gonna try to just use it up.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
We're not hitting this out very well. Come on, take him down. Yeah, keep coming. so it's just a small heal over time. That's how big it is, the arrows. Come on, one more swing. Let's go. Nice. All
Let's
right.
go.
Grab this last bandit. Yeah. There we go. 46%. I think that's damage reduction. Maybe due to armor. Alright, Tenfrith.
Greetings.
By the flame. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. I thought I'd be stuck cooking for these ignorant weasels for the rest of my life. Or until they were bored with me, I suppose. I must get back home. I only hope they haven't hired a replacement. The dwarf looks aghast. Listen, next time you're in Gilded Vale, stop by the Black Hound Inn. I'll let Pasca know just what you've done for me, and I'm sure he'll do right by you in turn. So it's next time I'm in the Gilded Vale, I'll go to Black Hound Inn. Okay. You have earned reputation. Reputations can be held with communities or factions in the Eastern Reach, and will affect how members of the group respond to you. In some cases, friends or enemies of those groups will also react to your affiliations. Helping a group will increase your positive reputation with that group. Harming a group will increase your negative reputation. It is possible to have a mix of positive and negative reputation with a group if you help and harm them in equal measure. Cool. Tenfrith says, oh, to be back at my oven again. Nice. Cool. Let's loot. Fruit. Hood. Okay. Let's check out these guys. Dagger, hatchet, small shields. There's a lot of like kind of plain loot in this game. I feel like we're gonna have to sell a lot of stuff. I hope. Take the rest in the stash. I hope that's how it works. I'll put that in the stash. Alright.
Huh?
Huh? Loot. The tent is empty, but for a pair of stained cots and the stink of unwashed bodies. Ooh, a rod. Two-handed. Damage 14 to 20 piercing and slashing. It's not as good as my pole axe, but it's cool. Rice, meat, poultry, agate, copper pound. Right. Stash that stuff. Some veggies. Okay. There's a lot of different directions you can take out of the maps. Not that way, but so there's a body up there. Let's go investigate. There, young wolf. Knock him down. Oh, two.
Let's go.
Shim off. Damage here.
Let's go.
I'd probably like to rest out after this fight. Again.
Let's go.
Use some extra healing supplies.
Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah, so it's keeping my health up. I have major fatigue. Oh, and I'm feeling
Let's go.
What does major fatigue do? Minus 20% accuracy. That's why I'm missing so much. Minus 25% maximum endurance. Oh, that's what that gray part of my endurance bar is. It's grayed out. Okay.
Let's go.
So I have to
Let's
manage
go.
that a bit better.
Let's go. Let's go.
Every time I click, it says let's go. So it's so quick. There we go. Okay. I think it's time to rest up.
Ready to sleep like the dead.
Okay, this is as good a spot as any. So how do we rest? Let's see here. Cancel, select, skip, camp. I think that's what we want to do, camp. Camping allows your party members to restore lost health and receive a camping bonus. Camping will consume a camping supply. So 4 of 4. Oh, and I get one of these bonuses. Yeah, I'll just take less damage. What does the movement one do? +1 move speed. Yeah, less damage. I like that one. So we'll just rest. Oh. Okay. Is that the regular cinematic we're resting? I don't know. These aged walls appear to have once encircled this entire glade. Only a small fragment remains, and the stairs leading to the top of the structure have crumbled away. Examine the wall more closely. The heavy bricks are slick with moss, presenting a hindrance to climbing, but the stones themselves seem sturdy enough. Given the right tools, one might easily reach the top. Alright, well, let's try and scale the wall. You find a handhold upon one of the large stones and start to pull yourself up. You make your way steadily up the crumbling ruin and over the top. Athletics 4. Okay. Cool. Ooh, Volvano's gloves. +2 dex. Wow. Scrawled letter, leather armor. Still take those gloves. Take those camping supplies. Scrawled letter, I want to read that. Does that automatically go to the stash? Yeah. Okay. So let's have a read. I do not think you will ever see this, but you were right, Volvano. We should have journeyed south together and been safer for it. I would tolerate all the gloating in the world if I might live to hear it. I put myself out of reach of the beasts circling below, but I am done for all the same. I do not think I will rise again. Whoever finds this, pray for me. Perhaps in the next life I shall be a trapper of wolves. I don't know if we read this tattered journal. Let's read it. A small folio is torn in several places, and blood has soaked into several of the sheets. One later entry is still legible, however. I can't believe my luck. A few rounds of dice, and I've got my hands on a genuine Engwithan artifact. The fellow who had it said it was a pretty nothing, as far as he's concerned. He's not willing to go digging in some ruins, but if he's right about this gem leading to a hidden treasure, then that's worth sneaking past a few painted elves. I'll head to the Silent List in the morning. Then it's just a matter of finding this relief he was talking about. Okay, so that's where we found, yeah, we put the gem in the eye socket yesterday and found, I think it was this cape. Minor cloak of protection, which is awesome. Alright, so let's go back to our stash. We got, there's gloves that add to dexterity. Volvano's gloves. Might as well put those on for now. Awesome. Got some herbs here. St. Gyron's horn. Can we step down here and grab the blood moss? Nice. So there's a set of stairs. Oh, okay. So this is the way that we came up. So let's scale back down. You swing yourself over the side and pick your way down, back down to ground level. Great. Nice. So what's quick save? Is that? I'm assuming it's F5. Controls. Quick save F5. Yep. Looks like every other RPG ever. Alright. Great. So I think we've explored most of this area. Let's check out this northern region and then cross the bridge, see if there's anything to discover over there. We'll go north first. Is that worse? So can I scale this area? Maybe. Across the river? Ah. Oh, is that right? Okay, one of these guys. Knock him down. Oh, 3. Okay. Yeah, let's go second wind.
Let's go.
Really, really weak. Get one of those per encounter, so I might as well use it as much as possible. Knock this guy down. Nice.
Let's go.
Let's go. Alright. Load them up. So they have a whole bunch of spears. And tongues, shields. Alright, stashing it. One dead guy. Or girl. Quarterstaff. 18 to 25 crush. That's the same as a poleaxe. Padded helm. Golden sword. The struts and supports are large enough to be the ribs and vertebrae of a dragon. Whoa. Well, we can't enter these houses. So waterfall up here. Nothing in there. We'll head back this way. And then we'll just check across this bridge, and if there's nothing there, then we'll go to the bear cave. Tongues all day. Yeah. Collecting those tongues. Alright, so got some northwest to Garen's Grasp and south to the Gilded Vale. I feel like this is the way we're supposed to go to continue along the main story. Let's go check out that bear cave, though. I think we should fight a bear. I'm ready for this. I'm training my whole life. Who is that? Dominator Silva. Thanks for the follow, man. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Alright. So we're gonna head... Dolly says, Dom with the big follow. So we'll head up to the cave here, the bear cave. I feel like this is going to be kind of our first almost boss fight. I mean, bears are probably pretty common, but there's usually some sort of big baddie at the end of a cave, right? Okay. Let's do a little quick save there. I'm tempted to loot, but I'm gonna try and sneak up on this bear. I haven't really done that yet. Oh, he saw me. Who's that with the follow? Rev Hellcat is following. Hey Rev, thanks for the follow, man. Oh boy.
Let's go.
Can we knock down a bear? Oh, he hits hard. Second wind.
Let's go.
Let's go. Knock him down. Doesn't work. He's a bear. Oh.
Let's go.
Die. One more hit. Yeah, I gotta go. Disengage. Ouch. When a party member is reduced to 0 endurance, they are knocked out. This means they are out of the fight, but as long as your side is victorious, they will regenerate their endurance when combat ends. Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna be oh, I'm already down. Well, good thing we saved. Where's that quick save? Load. Yeah, I don't know if we can take this bear yet. I feel like this is something I might have to come back to. There's not much more I can do there. Rev says, ba-da-da-da-da-da.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I engaged right away. Okay, you know what? We'll try one more time. I'm gonna trigger second wind right away. And then we're gonna get him all in this bear. Oh, he just one-shot me. Okay. Definitely not ready for this bear. Okay. So man versus bear. Bear 1. Bear 2. Man 0. Probably not a good idea to just to walk into a bear den.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I am going to try and sneak over here and loot this, though. Your mustache is superb. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'd like to say I worked really hard at it, but it just kind of came natural. It just kind of came natural. Have you guys ever played this game? I'm having a lot of fun so far. It's a lot like Dungeons and Dragons. Alright, so we're gonna come back to that bear. Running down the path. So we're gonna head down to the Gilded Vale. Oh, there's a lot of towns. Is this PoE 2 or 1? I lose track. This is PoE 1, Pillars of Eternity. But I bought the definitive edition, so this has all of the extended content. So the White March, Part 1 and Part 2, and the Deadfire pack. So I'm not sure how to distinguish any of the content. I think we're just going to run into all of it as we play through the game. PoE 2 looks a lot nicer. Graphics are a lot more well developed, but I've heard good things kind of argued for both games. Some people say that there's some things that were done better in this game, and some things that are better done better in PoE 2. So I just wanted to play this one before I play the second one. I was watching CodeCarnage play PoE 2 a bit. He said that I'll get a little bit of it's a cinematic here. Oh, he's not good.
You must be one of the new settlers. Welcome to Gilded Vale. You'll be pleased to know that we've had some recent vacancies here.
Yeah, looks like it. Do you welcome everyone this way? Do you welcome everyone this way? The only answer you hear is the buzzing of flies from the tree.
Of course, we'll need to make some inquiries first. The inestimable Lord Radric VII has taken great pains to insulate our town from Widewind's legacy. Have you ever sired a Hollowborn child?
I've never sired anything. What are you talking about?
An infant born without a soul, of course. Lord Radric has made it his first priority to eliminate this scourge from our village. I should warn you, stranger. Here in Gilded Vale, we have a special place for dissidents, charlatans, and those who would hide a curse in our midst.
He steps to the side and inclines his head ever so slightly towards the deformed tree.
His lordship's wife is with child and due any day now. Without his approval, I shan't be able to find you a permanent settlement. It will have to wait until after the birth. We can continue our interview then, after the bell tolls from Radric's hold to signal my lord's new heir. In the meantime, you can find temporary accommodations at the inn just southwest of here.
Okay. I've been feeling strange ever since a close call with the Bioac. Is there someone in town who could help? You said something about Hollowborn and Widewind's legacies before. Let's talk about, see if there's anyone that can help with their sickness.
Whatever your problem. It sounds like a matter for an animancer. However, the only animancer in Gilded Vale isn't in any condition to speak. Consider yourself fortunate. After she failed Lord Radric, we saw to it that she wouldn't profit from the misplaced trust of others. A bad cure is often worse than none at all.
Okay, I don't like this guy. Dalai Lama says, I like the natural progression. I don't like playing sequels first. Yeah, I felt the same way. Co-Carnage said, you could certainly play number 2 right away and really enjoy it, but there's a lot of context that's provided by the first game that just makes the experience that much better. So I think I'm going to enjoy playing both. Start with the first one.
But if you're set on finding a bottle of troll piss or a dead Audra pebble to rub on your forehead, you're welcome to check her pockets. A little corpse stink is nothing when you're digging for shit. My advice, however, is to be satisfied that you escaped and leave it at that.
This guy's just strangely dramatic. If you have any other questions, don't hesitate to ask. It's important that everyone in Gilded Vale understand our rules. You said something about Hollowborn and Waidwen's legacy before. He blinks. I forget that you foreigners do not have this curse in your homelands. The Hollowborn have been a scourge upon the Direwood for almost 15 years now. He lowers his voice to a whisper. Children are born without souls. He shakes his head. Pitiful dumb things that breathe, barely, but do not truly live. Some say the Hollowborn are a disease. Some say they are a punishment from the gods. He raises his empty hands. In truth, no one knows, but they began spreading after the Saints' War, and so the name Waidwen's legacy stuck in honor of that foul, blasphemous pretender. His voice shakes with vitriol. I see. Before I got here, I saw several people conducting a strange ceremony near some ruins. He regards you carefully. You'll want to mind where you mention that. Trespassing on Angwithan ruins is illegal, not to mention dangerous. You probably saw someone attempting some new ritual to appease the gods. People will try anything these days. Barath have mercy. We certainly have. Maybe so. I don't think so. Just as they finished, there was a bivouac. He polishes his spectacle on his sleeve. If you'd been the chosen to a bivouac, you wouldn't be standing here. Okay, goodbye.
Keep out of...
Oh, snap.
Listen!
2 tolls. Let that be the last.
3. Gods have mercy.
It seems your arrival is ill-timed. 3 bells toll only for the death of a Radric. I fear Lord Radric's heir is lost, or else Hollowborn, and so lost all the same. You should tread carefully. Circumstances have changed a great deal.
What do you mean? You come to us at a time of mourning. The legacy is struck at the heart of Gilded Vale. Our efforts to redeem ourselves in the eyes of Barath must be redoubled. He sets a steady gaze on you. Does this affect the Lord's offering? Yeah, that seems kind of insensitive. Let's just ask what happened. He shrugs one bony shoulder. I will know more details when the messengers arrive. The vagaries of childbirth, perhaps. But that is not your concern. I guess we'll go with, does this affect the Lord's offer to new settlers? I can be sure of nothing right now. I advise you to get some rest. The inn. Or a stable, for all I care. Find me afterwards. I will know more soon enough. Farewell. Okay. So let's read the journal here a little bit. Gilded Vale is said to be one of the most prosperous villages in the Direwood, full of opportunities for work and wealth. I was told they are offering land to new settlers. Magistrate Urgit suggested that I have a rest at the inn while he looks into the matter of finding me a place to stay. Everything is at a standstill while he awaits word of the fate of Lord Redric's baby. Seems I have little choice but to wait and see what comes of it. Okay. So let's have a look around town. And we'll head over to the inn. Let's talk to these villagers. What if it's not the baby? Maybe Kolsk managed to... Managed to what? Hush, are you mad? Leave it for indoors. Everybody's being all secret. This is making me want to play it, haha. But we also got that Conan life. Yeah, seriously. I know. You've got all that stone collected, eh? I gotta go put that to use. Alright, let's investigate this tree. Terrifying. Scattered between the roots are bracelets of twine and bead, wilting flowers, and notes, half erased by the rains. Terrifying.
Were you looking for someone in that tree? I could introduce you.
Yeah, it's definitely Matt Mercer. Looking for anyone who can help me feel better. Strange way to talk about your dead. No, I already help. Yeah, can you help me feel better? He gives an understanding nod as he takes a long drag from his pipe. My condolences. He exhales and turns his attention away, watching the village around him. Get Mercered. Alright. Just stairs down to some sort of crypt or something below there. Let's walk over this way. Things are bound to get worse now. Angry townspeople. Aloth. You see 4 people gathered by the door to the inn. Their raised voices and chopping gestures suggest an argument reaching its climax. The first figure raises his hands for calm. His face is partially obscured by a hood, but his height and stature suggest an elf.
I meant no offense. Let's put this matter to rest over a round, shall we? My treat.
The others, 2 folk men and an elven woman, don't look convinced. The woman crosses her arms. Hoping to soothe our pride with a few Adair coppers, eh? She spits at his feet. We don't need your coin. I'm just gonna say nothing for now. One of the other men glares at the hooded elf. His eyes are red from the drink, but his gaze is focused. You've got a lot of gall mocking us in our own village. We don't take ill treatment from foreigners, especially not Adirans.
Go on. Say it again. I'm itching for an excuse.
Fie, you're itching for the kindling touch of your sister, you cocksfeather!
That's also Mercer.
I'll cut that barrel-licking tongue out of your head.
This is a misunderstanding. I didn't say whatever it is you think I said. We've nigh quarrel.
The elven woman draws a blade. That's where you're wrong. This is unnecessary. Wouldn't you rather be inside drinking than out here arguing? We don't want your charity either, foreigner. They squint at you through red, bleary eyes. It sounds suspiciously like you're defending him. What? Yeah, is he conversing with himself? I guess. It's funny that they chose to use him for a lot of the NPCs. Alright, so we have 3 angry townsmen. Oh, and a townswoman. 2 townsmen, townswoman. So we're gonna let Aloth take the closest guy. And this guy's looking at me, so I'm gonna knock him down. Let's go. Oh, 1 shot. Ooh, that must have been a crit.
Let's go.
Another 1 shot. Okay. As the last of the attackers falls, the elf turns to you, the tension almost gone from his smooth face.
Not quite how I hoped to get to know the neighbors. Thank you for your timely assistance with that awkward situation.
I could help. Actually, that's fine. I'm glad I could help.
Courtesy is a rare pleasure in these parts, though your accent suggests that you are no more local than I.
He straightens his hood, and you note the remains of fraying embroidery on his gloves. His boots are caked with the dirt of many months' travel, but the leatherwork beneath it is sturdy and fine.
Well, I suppose introductions are in order after that little fiasco. Aloth Corvisor, at your service.
Tell me about yourself. How did you manage to get stuck out here? You'd better have more to say for yourself than that. Tell me about yourself.
Well, I'm a wizard by training, and an adventurer by necessity. I was born in the Seathwood, part of the mainland of the Adir Empire, and both of my parents served the nobility, which afforded me an education for which I am grateful. However, there were no open positions in those houses, and so I decided to seek new means in a new land. And how exactly did you come to be here?
I was traveling with a caravan, but we were separated near some ruins.
In Gwithan Ruins? Oh, those can be dangerous places during the best of times, which these are not. In half the locals would arrest you for trespassing, and the rest would kill you outright. I'm curious, what exactly did you find there?
Several hooded figures operating a strange machine. Aloth goggles at you silently, apparently assessing your earnestness. Finally, he gives you a clipped, awkward laugh.
You do manage to find yourself in rather interesting predicaments.
Alright, see you, Dolly. What are you doing in Gilded Vale? How did you manage to cross those three drunks? Let's ask
I'm afraid that was a matter of misunderstandings and mistranslations. It doesn't help that people in these parts remember their war with Adir like it was yesterday.
You did tell that one man to go fuck his sister. You did make a rather lewd suggestion regarding one of the aggressors and his own sister. Ah, that. He clears his throat and adjusts his sleeves. As I tried to tell them, they misheard me. Happens all too easily after a few pints, and the accent doesn't help. I see. For which I am grateful. Let's discuss something else, shall we? What are you doing in Gilded Vale?
An excellent question. I came looking for fresh air and cheap land. Instead, the magistrate gave me directions to the inn and a story about the local lord's expectant wife. But I take it that's a familiar tale.
And you? Like you said, I'm also a settler.
Indeed. In that case, welcome to Gilded Vale, a true refuge from civilization.
You don't exactly look like a settler.
Begging your pardon, but neither do you. Yet, circumstances can find a person in the strangest of places.
I should get going.
As should I, given recent events. It's just as well. I've had enough of the watered wine and lumpy beds at the inn. They say even the owner tired of the place. Just up and left one day. It explains quite a lot about the upkeep. Perhaps I could join you. I could use a change of scenery, and I find it's better to travel in numbers.
So do I. Let's go then. Yeah, I think I'll have Matt Mercer join our party. That sounds good.
Excellent. I shall follow you.
Excellent. Cool.
Aye?
Let's check out what his abilities are. Aloth. So he has a scepter. And a rapier, so he's wielding two one-handed weapons. He has his grimoire with first level wizard spells. Archimir's dazzling lights, defended by... not sure what that foot means. Overwhelms anyone in the area of effect with a brilliant and bewildering pyrotechnic display, decreasing their will and leaving them dazed. Fan of Flames. Creates a cone of fire in front of the caster, causing burn damage to anyone in the area of effect. Kalikoth's Sunless Grasp. The caster's hands become so cold as to freeze what they touch. Does freeze damage to a target and reduces its accuracy. Minoleta's Minor Missiles. Summons 3 spell missiles that batter the target, inflicting crush or corrode damage. Cool. And then Arcane Assault. Unleashes a bolt of magical energy from the grimoire that inflicts raw damage and dazes targets in the area. So we get 2 of those per encounter. And then looks like we get 3 first level spells per rest. So we'll be a little bit more cautious with those. Great. Alright, well let's loot the bodies, of course. Some clubs, daggers, silver. Stash it. Alright. Let's check the map here. So we've really just been in this area here. So before we go in the inn, should we just have a walk around the town? Let's do that. And then I told her, that's not the pistol. Villager. Used to have a lot more fortune tellers come through. Lord Redrick had us chase them off. Alright, so that's like the top floor of the inn. We don't need to go there yet. So let's walk over. Let's check out like this area up here.
Yeah.
Me and my new buddy Aloth. Just 2 guys hanging out. Some gold rot chew. +3 might. Ooh. -2 perception. +1 move speed. Sure.
Huh?
See, there's a ghost in the field there. Despite the rains, the stalks feel as dry and stiff as the locust husk. Doran Chamberlain. As you near, you feel a vibrant history contained in the essence of this man's soul. Voices from its past seem to call out to you. Reach out for the soul. You see a large crowd gathered in the middle of a courtyard. This man stands in the midst of them, a cloak pulled over his head, holding it closed around his neck. The crowd has congregated around a platform that they all watch, transfixed, as a man is led to the platform. Flanked by 2 city guardsmen, the man is shackled hand and foot, but carries himself as a nobleman, not deigning to even glance at the crowd. The cloaked man pulls his cover closer around his face and turns to leave, hunching over to avoid being seen. A crier on the platform unrolls a parchment and begins to read, but the man pays no attention, intent on getting away from the courtyard. The crier's voice grows louder and more intense as he reads, and voice from the crowd start to punctuate his sentences. The jeers and shouts grow more frequent, and with each one, the cloaked man flinches and his shoulders droop. He breaks from the crowd, coming to the edge of the courtyard as the crier reaches to the end of his proclamation. The crowd grows silent again, save for the occasional shout. The man turns back to look at the platform, seeing his father kneeling before the block, neck exposed. The executioner moves into position, filling his axe to strike. The man turns suddenly, unable to watch. There is a wet thunk, and the crowd breaks into cheers and applause. He leans against the wall, regaining his composure, then straightens up. With obvious resolve, he strides off, away from the crowd and his legacy. Whoa.
Huh?
Okay, just a little daydream there. Let's chat with. Try and talk to him again. Oh, okay. Same thing. What about this other guy? Same thing. Oh no. Rudolfir Necator. You see a pair of immaculately polished leather boots and an impeccably maintained goatee. Their owner, a slightly hook-nosed man with a wicked grin and narrow eyes. He bobs his feathered hat at a nearby merchant as he ambles by. A small piece of parchment held tight in his fist, ink staining his fair fingers. He seems to know most of the merchants in the market, stopping to engage some, nodding at others, and even bartering for minor goods with a select few, always smiling, laughing, and exchanging jibs. He approaches a heavy-set Amau, smile plastered stiff across his face, and jokes about the weather. She jokes back, subtly palming him several gold coins. When he walks away, the paper in his hand is gone, and the smile on his face far more genuine. He tips his cap at her, winking, and trundles off with the new spring in his step.
Yeah.
Okay. Something going on here. So this looks like it leads out of town. Let's go check out this farm. Despite the rains, the stalks feel as dry and stiff as a locust husk. Grab some Barrett Spell. Head down here. Let's see, where should we go? We'll start entering some of these houses and check them out. Yeah, let's check out the Black Hammer Smithery. See what's going on in there.
Yeah.
Alright. As your party grows in size, you may want to change their formation. You can use the formation button on the main HUD to cycle between pre-built formations or build your own. Cool. So we can loot. Oh yeah, but you can see there's a little symbol, I think, that shows that you're stealing. So
Sure.
really the stealthy type. Yeah, so let's just play it cool. Account of Tautanu's sales. The pages are nearly empty. Let's have a chat. This Amau man is of an impressive build, towering above the countertop. His skin is the dusky blue of the deeper oceans, and his thick arms boast corded muscle. Small ears frame a square-jawed face coated in smeared soot and arcing black tattoos alike. He offers you a broad smile as you approach. Welcome. You're the first new face I've seen in quite some time. What can I do for you? What do you have here? You come to us at a strange time, I'm afraid. The stock's not what it used to be, but we've fine weapons and armor to offer yet, all forged right here at the Black Hammer. What happened? We just don't have the supplies. Been expecting the next delivery for near on a week now, and haven't seen a sign of it. I have to expect they were hit by bandits. The road out east is crawling with them. Or my workers ran off with the wagon themselves, maybe to make some coin. Tuatanu snorts. Tuatanu. As if that lot would dare. He's right about the bandits. The dire situations in villages like this and the exodus to the cities has created far too many opportunities for unscrupulous sorts. Tuatanu scratches his jaw, thinking, if you happen to be headed that way, maybe you could keep an eye out for a supply wagon, or my shipment at least. They'd be cutting through the Black Meadow, I expect. Only good road for it. As it is, most of our weapons go to His Grace Lord Raedric. Tuatanu glances at the nearby guard. And that's as it should be, but it doesn't leave much for outsiders. We just don't have the iron. I'll see them back safe and sound. I'll find your supplies. Tuatanu nods. Then you have my thanks. You bring those supplies back and I'll have plenty more to offer you. A discount to start. Oh, and if you find my workers, tell them to hurry up, or they can take up farming instead.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Harlan. Harlan Orenson. As you near, you feel a vibrant history contained in the essence of this man's soul. The voice from its past seems to call out to you. Reach out for the soul. You see a man crouching, surreptitious and alone. A series of untamed shrubs, all that hides him from the vision ahead. His eyes are locked on a Delimgan, beautiful and terrible, eyes half-lidded as she hums. A bird with fantastic blue and orange plumage sits on her shoulder, trilling gently, and the man is entranced. Trembling, tentative, he stands, and the tranquility is broken by the bird's startled squawk. The Delimgan half smiles, beckoning with twig-like fingers. She does not speak as he approaches. His mouth is dripping sounds of awe and admiration. She waits, coy and tempting, and with agonizing slowness, he is before her. Then something changes. He sees something hanging limply from his side and begins to hiss. Fingers suddenly claws and eyes black with hate. He has no time to reach for his axe or grimoire as she strikes. And just as soon as she strikes, she is gone. The only evidence of her existence, the shuddering wreck on the ground. He grabs at his grimoire nevertheless and begins to chant. But the words of a magical language of his own imagining, scribbled in a maniacal shorthand, ring hollow, and the silence continues unabated. He turns and shrugs at someone or something, but if there is something there, you do not see it. Man, the writing is so good in this game. Really enjoying that. Duagan Steelcaller. Reach out for the soul. You see a group of adventurers surrounded by a crowd of attacking Zaurips. This man is with them, seemingly unconcerned by the battle, even detached from it, as he stands in the middle of his comrades, chanting, his expression bordering on elation. His voice is powerful and deep, booming out across the combatants as a rich counterpoint to the chaos of their fighting. With every phrase, the battlefield changes. His allies glow with a pulsing blue light, freezing the Zaurips that surround them. A blazing pyre erupts from the ground, cutting and burning the creatures, and sending them scattering. One of the fallen Zaurips suddenly explodes as 3 giant grubs crawl from its corpse and attack the remaining enemies. The man continues to chant, thoroughly enthralled in the joy of the moment. Finally, the creatures have been reduced to 1. His allies stand back as the man approaches it, still chanting. He removes his hammer and swings it at the Zaurip. His phrase ends as the hammer connects its head, punctuating the spell and bringing his song to an end. Whoa. So if they have a memory like that,
I'll
can't-
see what I can find.
Oh, I don't want to stealth. We can't
Yeah.
also talk to them. Just only the memory. Okay. So nothing really
I shall be discreet.
to interact with. bellows sigh into the furnace, and the coals burn brighter still. So we don't have a little like loot stealing icon here, so I'm gonna see if I can loot that. We'll do a quick save,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna see if I can. Daily affirmations of focus and efficiency. What is that? Let's have a peek. I think I went to the stash. Daily affirmations of focus and efficiency. Number 1, all errors can be reforged into lessons. Abiden rebuilt himself from ruin. No setback is insurmountable, not even death itself, so long as the soul is dedicated to the task. Okay, so these are like literally like somebody's journal or daily affirmations. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
I shall be discreet.
Let's talk to the apprentice. If you want to buy something, it's Tuatanu. You should speak to the guard. Lord Redrick himself looks to this smithy for supplies. Yeah, cool. Dented and dull, these swords look ready for the forge. Dominator Sever says, "Why is this guy so cute? I would like to go on a muzzy ride, please, and thank you." Okay.
Right. Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
I'll take the good out of that comment. Appreciate. I'm just gonna leave it there.
Huh?
Thanks, Silva. For any, I want you to know that's a special thing that just happened. That was my first inappropriate Twitch comment that I've ever received in the chat. So you've claimed something special today. So congratulations. That's good. Debatable. Yeah, it's true. It's true. To each their own. Alright, let's have a look at the map here. But I have that honor among many Twitch channels, I'll have you know. Well, they should have a special badge for that in chat. Where are my guys here? Oh.
Sure.
Weird. Okay, there we go. Let's head up to Ingrid's house.
Yeah.
What's going on in here? Nantan. Ingrid. This man and woman appear to have been deep in conversation, working at closing two bulging satchels. They move to embrace until the woman notices your approach and pauses, her smile faltering a little. Two bulging satchels.
Well met, friend.
Can we help you? She looks to her companion, brows furrowing with confusion. Do you know this man, Nantan? Nantan shakes his head. I don't believe so. Was there something you wanted, stranger? You two seem to be in a hurry. Yes, I imagine so. Ingrid laughs. We're packing for a trip, actually. I've been meaning to visit Defiance Bay, and she looks at Nantan. Well, in truth, I think I've had my fill of this town. Nantan reaches to take her hand. It's time for some new scenery, he says. Is there anything you can tell me about Gilded Vale? Ingrid smiles wryly. Only that you'll want to be moving on as soon as you can. You'll have seen the tree, I imagine, but the rock goes deeper. If you were looking for work, I'd say you have a better chance of it elsewhere. We're headed for Defiance Bay ourselves, Nantan adds. Okay, goodbye.
Huh?
You may not mind if I loot everything you own, then.
Yeah.
The Direwood Part 2, The Broken Stone War. Guys, you're just leaving your money laying around.
Right.
You should probably bring that with you. This bottle of Sonreed is half empty. Alright. Let's check out that book. The Direwood. Part 2. Is there a TLDR here? I'm just going to leave that. I need to read that right now. Okay, let's head out. Well, nothing going on there. I'm sure we'll run into them later. Effects that modify the same statistic will often suppress each other. In those cases, the game uses only the highest bonus of that type. Interesting. I feel like this game punishes min-maxing and rewards RP. Like role-playing. So, I think we should keep that in mind moving forward. Load times are a little long there.
Yeah.
Alright, so we've gone to Ingrid's, we've gone to the blacksmith. Temple of Eothas. We've been there. We haven't gone down. I don't think we need to go down yet. Let's head up to the windmill. We need to get you a green screen, mate. Actually, funny you say that. I just picked up a green screen. It's right here. See? Green screen. But I wasn't thinking I need something to mount it to, so I have this wall behind me. I just have to, I think I'm gonna build a stand or something to put it on, so I have the green screen. I got it off Amazon. I think it was like 20 bucks for this big piece of material. It seems pretty well made, but I just haven't got it set up yet, so yeah. Tape it to the wall. Well, it's kind of heavy, so I could tape it to the wall, but I'd probably have to use a stronger tape, like duct tape or something, and then I'd be worried about the wall, like peeling the paint. Yeah, it was only 20 bucks. It's just a big piece of green fabric. It's like a cotton or a muslin fabric, so yeah, it was only 20 something dollars. It's 6 feet by 9 feet, so it'll cover the entire wall, and I think that'll do the job.
Yeah.
There were a few different kinds of green screens on there that were a bit more expensive. They were like a kind of like a framed, like, I don't even know what you'd call it, like a framed panel. that you could fix to the wall or that just covered your head. I don't know if that's what Dolly uses. I haven't seen his setup recently. I think so. The only problem I heard with that, I read some of the reviews, is that that material that it's made of, it's fairly shiny. It's like a PVC or something like that, like some sort of plastic. And so the shiny... Oh, one sec, I'm just going to pause here. Oh, okay, they're not talking. Yeah, the shiny material reflected light, and so it would create what they call hot spots in different parts of the screen, which apparently the chroma key program that activates your green screen sometimes will have trouble with those hot spots, and it'll create these weird kind of orbs of light in your stream. So I thought, you know what, I'm not going to bother with all that. I'm just going to go with the tried and true solution, which is just a big piece of cheap fabric. So I just have to wash it and iron it, and then I'm going to figure out how to hang it. So I'll probably have that up and running tomorrow. But yeah, then I can, you know, my webcam can take up a lot less of the screen, so that'll be good. We know there's more grain in there, Trumbull. We won't settle for scraps while you grow fat on our crops. A muffled shouting emerges from inside the mill. The first of you drunkards comes through that door, gets a shot between the eyes. Gods hear me, Sway Newer. I'll put you down like a dog. Come away for now, lads, but we'll be back, Trumbull, and we'll have fair prices, or by the flame we'll have a reckoning. Against the grain. Alright, let's go loot these shrooms.
Huh?
Yeah, so that was kind of like my long-winded explanation of why I bought that. But if you guys, I don't know, do you guys stream at all? Do you have a setup at home, or are you thinking about getting into it? Because I would definitely be interested in what you guys are doing. Rangers are bonded to their animal companions, and the pair work best as a team. Animal companions do not have powerful attacks, but can be effective at pinning an enemy down for the ranger to finish him off. Silva says, my GF does, and we're looking for a green screen that isn't minimum 120. Had no idea about the fabric trick. Yeah. I think I'm just going to build like a really simple frame out of like 2x4 lumber. You know, you can get some 2x4s for like $3 at Home Depot, and I'll just screw together like a small frame and then throw the fabric over top and just kind of staple it on so that it's nice and flush and crisp. Or maybe put like a dowel across. The thing about that piece of fabric is that it does come with like the top edge is sewn over, so it does have a slot for you to put a dowel through if you did want to hang it. I guess photographers traditionally have racks for these kinds of backdrops, and so this sheet is meant to receive the rack from like a traditional photography backdrop. So if I build something similar out of wood, I think I can save myself like $50, and I'll have something that's just kind of custom for what I need it for, because I didn't want something huge like that. And like you said, yeah, they're like $120 to get the sheet and the backdrop, so that was just too much for me. Silva says, I would be very much interested in seeing how well it works on your stream, so I'll have to tune back in. Yeah, I'll have that up and going in the next couple of days, if not after the weekend for sure. Yeah, totally. Streaming can get pretty expensive pretty quick if you just kind of buy everything right out of the gate. So just trying to figure out ways to have fun with it and not feel like I spend $1 million just to get it going. So for sure. Trumbull says, an elven man stands before you, his relatively stocky build suggesting a life of labor. His face is pale and drawn, and his eyes wide. Behind him, a younger man and a woman exchange worried glances. The miller raises a club as you enter. It shakes violently in his grip. Get back if you value your life. Hold on, I'm not here to hurt anyone. Let's just try a civil approach here. The miller hesitates, then lowers the club a fraction. Who are you? Is Swaynor roping foreigners into his little crusade now? My name is Footman. Let's just introduce myself. My name is Footman. I just arrived in Gilded Vale. Trumbull shakes his head. You picked a bad time to come visiting. Gilded Vale's had all its shine scraped off. Just a big dung heap now. And Swaynor thinks he's king of it. They're all of them mad. What was all that ruckus outside? Trumbull shakes his head. Where to begin? Swaynor has whipped them up into a froth, going on about the grain stores, claims I've hidden away most of it. Party gained 46 experience. I'm not sure why. All I do with the grain is sell it. I can't create it out of thin air, and I can't hand it out for free. I pay the farmers for the crops they bring in, and I sell what comes out of the mill. Most of it goes to the Black Hound, on the west side of town for ale, and Swaynor and his lot sure don't mind that part. You take a look at the fields on the way into town. The crop's blighted, and most of what I'm getting from the farmers, Trumbull gestures to the sacks and containers, it's gone off, rotted through. I can't pay top prices for blighted wheat, and I've barely got enough good grain to go around. Swaynor's howling after things he has no right to. Maybe I ought to go have a talk with Swaynor. Seems like a pretty clean story for a messy situation. If you don't want those people in here with torches, maybe you ought to stop lying to me. Is he lying? Resolve. Let's try it. 14's above average. You only live once. Trumbull blinks, taken back. I'm not... Look, it's no lie. The stores really are low, and with so little grain going around, I had to raise their prices for some people. There are folks in this town that deserve far better than Swaynor and his lot. People have done more for Gilded Vale. Maybe I ought to go have a talk with Swaynor. Swaynor's people are farmers. They gathered that grain for you. Let's appeal to him that way. They sure didn't mind losing that grain when it was going into the drinks at the inn. They don't make like kind neighbors when they insult my son, go stumbling drunk through my own crops. You think they're the only ones that need to eat? Now the crops are sick, and the wind's too weak to get the windmill turning. Our village's children are born as empty shells. It's not my doing. This place is cursed, and Swaynor and the others haven't done a thing to help the rest of us through the lean season. Maybe I think we gotta go have a talk with Swaynor. The miller all but sags with relief. I'd be grateful if you did. He won't listen to me anymore, but maybe you'll have better luck. Tell him we're all having a hard time of it, and we'll all have to make some sacrifices. Well, we'll be in your debt for it, if you can convince him. Yeah, I think that seemed like the appropriate response. Here, I'm just gonna do a quick save of the game here. It's just running a little bit choppy for some reason. Let me see if I can fix that real quick. Okay, I'm just gonna reload the game real quick. It's just running really choppy. Not sure why. How does it look for you guys? Do you notice like a little bit of choppiness? A little bit of like performance issue almost? It was running really smooth yesterday, so I just want to see if I can get it back to there. Let me make sure I'm not running any updates or anything. Yeah, it looks good, Silva. Okay. Well, I'll just do a refresh. Might just be my computer. Working hard. I'm just gonna reload the game here and should be back to normal. Just make sure I'm not running any downloads on Steam or anything. Okay. No, that looks good. All right, let's reload. Loading. Right. Okay, hit continue. Feels a little bit cleaner already. Excuse me. Sylvan, I think I recognize your name. Are you, did you play NHL with Dolly? The mechanic skill is used to pick locks and disarm traps. Yeah, we know that. All right, so hopefully it's running, it'll just run a little bit smoother now. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so I'm not going to loot these guys. A rancid stench rises from this grain. It's mushy and mottled with green. Ew. automate your party members' actions in combat with AI settings accessed through their character sheets. Cool. I wonder how much we'll use that. Or if we'll want to just micromanage. I feel like in other games, putting in the work to like set up the AI properly was really worth it. It's just saved a lot of time. Like, what game am I thinking of? Oh, I can't remember. It was an EA game. Age of... No, I can't remember. Anyway. Yeah, load times are feeling a little bit long right now. I'll have to get that fixed.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's load up the map. So, we've been to the silo. We've been to the blacksmiths. We've been to Ingrid's house. So, let's head over to, what is this? Alfred's house on the west side. Check that out. So we'll head down here. Let's see what these guys have to say first before we head in. Zlox, the usurper. As you near, you feel a vibrant history. Reach out for the soul. You see a lone man standing in a field. He looks around, surveying the crops. Occasionally, he bends to examine a leaf up close. He is intent on what he is doing, completely absorbed in this work. This man approaches him from behind. He moves slowly, but does nothing to mask his approach. In his hand, he holds a large sword. There appears to be no malice or hatred in the man's demeanor. He almost seems pleased. The first man hears his approach and stands, turning away from the plant he was inspecting. His face breaks into a smile, and he opens his arms to welcome the approaching man. The smile freezes into a grimace as the second man thrusts the sword through his stomach, its blade now protruding from his back. His arms slowly fall to his side, and blood starts to drip from the sword onto the plants below the man. As the first man crumples to his knees, the second pulls the sword out, a tear slowly falling down the cheek of his still smiling face. Let's talk to Clink. You see a small group of people gathered around the ruins of a house. The destruction continues out from this single dwelling through the entire village. Not a single building still stands. Rubble is scattered everywhere. One of the men in the group leans over something in the debris. It is this man, younger, barely more than a boy. The man reaches out and shakes the boy by the shoulder. The boy makes no sound and doesn't respond to the man's disturbance. The man looks up at the other members of the group and shrugs, standing to rejoin his friends. The boy suddenly sits up, eyes wide. He scrabbles backward, away from the group, looking around in horror. The group moves toward him in unison, eliciting a yelp from the boy, who tries to move farther away. A woman in the group puts out her hands, stopping the rest. She turns to them reproachfully, motions for them to stay, then looks at the boy on the ground, who is trying to push himself through what remains of a wall. He seems unaware. He has even stopped. The woman slowly moves toward the boy, hands out, speaking in a low, calming tone. For a time, the boy doesn't even hear. He just closes his eyes and braces himself against the wall, expecting violence. Eventually, the woman's words work through the fear, and he hears her. He opens his tear-filled eyes and stares at her. She holds out a hand to him. He looks at it, seeming confused by the offer, then hesitantly reaches out. She takes his hand in hers and leans down to help him stand. Man, these visions are intense.
Mm-hmm.
Just gonna open the window here real quick. Chanters can do more than just chant. While their abilities are not focused on frontline combat, they are competent warriors and will continue to chant and accumulate phrases while performing other actions. That's cool. Alright, let's talk to Alfra.
Are you sure?
Follow me.
Alfra, a dire wooden woman is standing in front of the fireplace, humming a quiet tune to herself, or perhaps to her unborn child, for she is clearly quite pregnant. She turns her head slightly as you enter.
Good day, stranger.
Well, finally, I was starting to think. The woman makes a startled noise when she turns around and sees you. Oh, I'm sorry. I was expecting someone else. She gives you a cautious smile. Can I help you? I just arrived in Gilded Vale. I thought I'd get to know the locals. Were you with one of the caravans? She looks at you hopefully. Master Odemas, by chance? I was, yes. I'm afraid the rest of the caravan was killed. Alfra covers her mouth with a hand, eyes wide with horror. For a few moments she could manage nothing but a strangled, voiceless gasping, her eyes brimming with tears. I told her it was a dangerous path to take. Kalisha was always so certain she could take on any danger. Alfra sniffs. Oh, my poor sister. I'm sorry, stranger. I just can't believe she's gone. If only I hadn't called her here. If I hadn't written to her, she might still be alive somewhere. Alfra's face crumples, and a solitary tear slides down her cheek. She did. Kalisha mentioned that she thought you needed help. Perhaps I can provide some assistance. Alfra looks at you with some surprise before dabbing at her nose with the sleeve. That's kind of you to offer, but I don't know if I could impose this on you. It's not a small favor. Alfra wipes at her eyes. I'm worried about the baby, about the legacy. I told Kalisha as much as I could, but all I know is that for a long time now, every child born in Gilded Vale has been soulless, empty. It's happened to so many mothers, and Lord Redrick, he's exiled all of them, calling it a sign of the gods' disfavor. She sniffs. With my Hathor gone, I don't know how I'd manage if I lost my home too. I hoped Kalisha could help me. They say Ranga, the old midwife, knows a way to prevent a child being hollow-born, but she moved south to Anslog's Compass 2 seasons ago, and journey's too far for me. I can't make it as I am, but I don't have anyone else now, with Kalisha gone. More tears run down her face. Please, can you help me? Of course. Pregnant woman needs some help. I'll find Ranga for you. Afra blinks, eyes wide. You will? Oh, God's bless you. Here, I'll give you coin to pay her with. You needn't trouble yourself with that. I think it's a drink she fashions out of, well, I'm not sure, but it shouldn't be too much of a burden to carry back. Anslog's Compass is what we call the lagoon to the south. You'll have to cross the wilds to get there. That's what keeps me from trying it myself. She clasps her hands together. Thank you again, truly. You'll be saving us both. She sets a hand on her stomach, smiling through her tears. Travel to Anslog's Compass and speak to Mother Ranga.
Yeah.
Alright, we won't steal from the pregnant lady. So I've got a few quests from visiting the various town folk. I think we'll head to the inn next, and then I'm assuming that'll kind of progress the main storyline and maybe give me some more reason to leave town. Wizards may only cast spells that are in their equipped grimoire. Additional grimoires may be placed in the wizard's quick slots to switch in combat, but the wizard will be unable to access new spells for several seconds. Interesting. That would be a fun class to play if I did another playthrough, is to play through the wizard. I think that would be a neat mechanic, just managing the different grimoires and having different ones for different situations. Sorry about the load times, guys. I don't know why it's taking so long. I think maybe my computer just needs a reboot. Yeah, this is really bad. Still loading. Well, you know what? I may need to close out and do a quick refresh So, if you guys don't mind hanging out for a minute, I will see what I can do here. Yeah, the game just crashed. So let's close it. Let's see how the computer's doing real quick. Yeah, so it looks like my memory is being capped. I'm just going to do a quick refresh of yeah, GPU is only at 6%, but my RAM is running at 98%, so something wrong there. I will be right back, guys. Hang tight.